Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Premier League Fantasy Football and welcome to my video. In today's video, I want to look at the best forward options for this year's FPL season. So if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe and drop a like on the video as it helps my channel out a lot. So here we go. I have changed the sort by to teams selected by percentage so we can see which players are the highest owned player so far. And obviously, you know, that doesn't make a lot of difference, but it can when you are trying to maintain the rank and stuff like that. But that's still early stages and everything can change, right? So I just sorted it by that. So, you know, we're looking at the popular players. And I'm going to go through each of these players as much as I can and give you guys my opinions on them. So Haaland. Okay, Haaland is pretty much a nailed-on player, and I think he needs to be in everyone's teams. It's just a fact. He's just an incredible player. He played really well. Manchester City done really well last season, and you can see that the stats here: 36 goals to his name, 9 assists. That's just. He only had 5 yellow cards and 40 bonus points added on to his total amount of points that he gained. That is really good. He's a player that plays up to 90 minutes, or unless they are winning, you know, 4 or 5-0 or something. But, you know, if we look at the fixtures as well, Burnley away, Newcastle at home, and Sheffield United away, Fulham at home. I mean, these fixtures, at least for the first 4, it looks really, really good on paper. No wonder why he is 82% owned. However, he is 14 million, so that's quite a lot of money. But then it becomes a little bit difficult to pick the next striker, and I think some of these strikers here we just have to wait and see. However, Gabriel Jesus is one of the popular picks here, being around 26.7% owned already. 8 million price tag looks really, really good, you know, comparing him to Saka's 8.5, Odegaard's 8.5. He's a player that I think he was on penalties. I know Saka has taken them, but you just never know. Saka, you know, comes off, you know, and Jesus is still on the pitch and there's a penalty, then Jesus is going to take that, right? So I hope that that's correct, and I think it is. But looking at his stats, I know his stats are not amazing, but being 8 million with the way that Arsenal played last season, you know, they're not really losing a lot of players, they're actually gaining a lot of players. You know, 11 goals to his name, 7 assists, and he was injured a couple of times as well, so he didn't play a lot of minutes. And you know, when he does play, he's always there. He's always like picking up some kind of points. And for me, being around this 8 million mark, I think there is a very good option, you know, a contender for Jesus to be my second striker alongside Haaland. If we look at this fixture, just look at the Nottingham Forest game, right? You know, it's calling, right? It's saying to us we need at least to double up or even triple up on the Arsenal players for Nottingham Forest. Then it's Crystal Palace away. Then it's Fulham at home. Then it becomes a little bit more difficult later on. You know, they've got Manchester United, Spurs and Manchester City and so on, and Chelsea as well. But I think for the first couple of game weeks, just see how things go. Maybe if we are thinking to wildcard around game week 4 or something like that, I don't know, maybe after game week 8, then we can switch things around. Then we can see which other strikers are performing well, you know, and so on. But I think Jesus could be in my team with his price tag being 8 million and the fixtures that Arsenal has. So I think this kind of makes sense with him being quite highly owned. Now, in Kudu, a lot of people doesn't really know him that well. I'm just gonna show you some stats for the 2001-2002 season. As you can see, he scored 35 goals. That's quite high. 20 assists, you know, 20 goals in the Bundesliga. You know, scored a couple of decent goals in the Champions League. If you were playing in the Champions League game, you know, you would have had Nkudu in your team. He is a forward, You know, he would have been good if he was a midfielder. However, he is 7.5. And if he's going to be the main striker for Chelsea, I think that's not too bad, you know. I'm just going to show you another picture here. His stats for the 2022 to 2023 season. 23 goals, 9 assists. He had a couple of injuries though. But he still managed to do well. And obviously, that's the Bundesliga, right? That's not, you know, it's not the Premier League. Premier League is a different story. And Chelsea, you know, we don't know how well they're going to perform, right? But with the new manager, you know, with a lot of changes happening, it could be a situation where we just have to wait and see. But I think he is, or he could be, a very, very good shout. So let's just have a quick look at Chelsea's fixtures here. So you got Liverpool at home. You just never know what can happen there. You know, that's a tough game to start off with. Then is West Ham, another difficult game for Chelsea. Then it becomes a little bit more easier, as you can see. Luton, Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth. You know, I'm not saying all of them is easy. You know, it's always going. Every Premier League game is going to be quite difficult, but it looks easy on the paper, right? So, yeah, for me, I might wait and see, and then I might bring him in. So that's what I will do with Nkuru. Harry Kane is quite highly owned, and obviously, as you can see, 30 goals last season, 9 assists, 48 bonus points that he had, 60 yellow cards. So he missed the penalty as well, which is great. But he is a goal scoring machine. You can kind of guarantee that he's definitely going to bring some kind of points to you. 12.5 though, that's quite high. And when you have like Haaland, right? And let's just say you have Jesus as an option. Like, you can't. It's very, very, very difficult to pick Kane and Haaland, and you have to really downgrade a lot of players. And as you can see, my formation is a bit all over the place. There's a lot of. I have to, you know, get some kind of money out somewhere, and I have to really remove good options really to fit Kane and Haaland into the team. I mean, it would be great if we got like Jesus, Haaland and Kane. And as you can see, you got to do a lot of surgery in your team to kind of fix that up. And it can become quite difficult. However, there is a possibility, and I will look at that formation, and I will look at that draft, and I'll try to get Haaland and Kane, and Salah as well, right? So let's just see what happens. Watkins is a very, very good option, solid option, 8 million, 15% owned right now, 15 goals. So he's done really well last season, 8 goals, 25 bonus points, 4 yellow cards. The fixtures are okay, I'll say, for Aston Villa. There's a couple of away fixtures, but you know, Aston Villa seems to do well away, or Watkins does well away and scores a lot of goals in away games. However, I think looking at Jesus right now being the same like price tag as him, I think I may go for Jesus instead of Watkins. So something like this that I might do to start with. Then I've got Saka and Jesus, so really attack this game here, and you know, the first 3 game weeks, and then see what happens. That's what I'm thinking to do. But yeah, let's move on. So we've got Ferguson. A lot of people really wants him in the team. I don't want to talk about too much about Ferguson because I'm not sure if I'm going to bring him in my team. I'm not sure if he is the best option. However, decent 3 fixtures here. A couple of home games there. A nice home Luton game there that he could do well in. It just depending on your formation, really. You got Wilson and Isak, 2 players that I'm not personally sure about right now, and I don't know if I'm going to invest in any Newcastle players. However, as you can see, 18 goals, 6 assists for Callum Wilson, although he was injured for a decent amount of games, still managed to bring in the points. I'm not sure about Callum Wilson for me, and that goes same with Isak as well. You know, if you got Callum Wilson, why would you go for Isak? You got Sturridge is quite highly owned. I guess it's just because he's a 4.5 million striker that people needs and he might play. Darwin is 7.5. Again, I'm not sure. I would rather go for Trent. You know, look, listen, I'm not saying that he's not going to do well. Of course not. He should do well, but 7.5 is not too bad. However, considering we've got Jesus and Nkudu could be a good option, and Watkins, I would rather go for a player that is nailed on. That's what I always try to say. Mitrovic, yeah, solid option. I got no problems with him at all. It's just that if I had to pick my top 5, you know, I don't know if he's going to be in there. Same going for Gakpo. However, if we move down a little bit, Carlton and Morris, let me just see some of his stats that I got here. So as you can see, he's 5.5. Okay, so he's on the cheap side, which is good. In 2021 to 2022, he got 9 goals and 3 assists in the championship. So as you can see, he got a couple of goals in the FA Cup as well. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. In last year though, 2022 to 2023 season, 20 goals in the championship and 6 assists there. That's not bad. You know, considering he's 5.5, I think that might be I don't know. I think that's decent. You know, if you got a 5.5 main striker that could get you a couple of goals, it could be a player that could be on the bench that could help out a lot. And there is a lot of other 4.5, you know, like Archer and stuff like that could be on the bench just doing nothing really. But it's always nice to have like a main striker that could do really well for us. You know, maybe we might need a player off our bench. But normally in the first couple of games, that doesn't really happen. You just have the main players that they have, teams that have, you know, the main players. They always let them play like as much as they can, but later on they will rotate. But yeah, let's move on. So we got Calvert-Lewin. Listen, if Calvert-Lewin is fit, then there is a very good chance that he could be in people's teams. The fixtures starting off for Everton is actually not bad. Fulham at home, Aston Villa away, and Wolves at home is pretty damn good. But he is an injury-prone player. And I don't really want to go down too much on this list. There's a lot of players that I'm not sure about as well. And that's why we need to wait for... I mean, there's Lukaku. Somehow there's Lukaku. Somehow. You know, we just have to wait and see what happens in the pre-season. But looking at my top 5, okay, is, yes, of course, it's Haaland. Definitely Jesus. Nkudu is a player that we need to watch out for. Okay. Harry Kane, but I can't fit Harry Kane. And I don't think I will bring Harry Kane in my team if I got Haaland and Salah. So that's going to be quite difficult. I think Watkins has a good shout to be in the top 5. Okay, so let's just say I'll go for Haaland, Jesus, Nkudu, and Watkins. And the other player that I would go for someone just to be a little bit cheap, just to, you know, try something a little bit different, is Carlton Morris. Okay, so that's my top 5. Is that top 5? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there you go. I'm all right. I'm right. Okay, cool. So yeah. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Is there any other player that I missed out? What you think about the players that I've mentioned? What do you think is going to happen in the pre-season? I know that it's, you know, we still got to go through the pre-season and there's still the transfer window still open, but it's good to have some kind of idea. And I really do like the Jesus pick actually. Let me know in the comments below. I will do this again towards the deadline and see what are the top 5 players that a lot of people might go for. Next video I'm going to be looking at the top 5 midfielders in the game, but I think that's going to be quite difficult because there's quite a lot of good midfielders that a lot of people could go for, but we will see. Anyways guys, thank you so much for joining. I hope that this video has helped you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give the video a like. Listen, if the video gets around 50 likes, that helps my channel a lot. Let's try to get that. Let's try to maintain it. That will be fantastic, and I'll create another video. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.